It's a show that put some specific things in the script just to make Dusty laugh.
That's not a
But
good
might
strategy.
annoy everyone else. I know, but when I was doing the read-through, he loved it.
You do a read-through?
Of course.
Oh, he does a read through. He does a look through where he stands in
course.
the mirror for about 30 minutes and
Yes, guys.
Brew and
he's delivering his
Brew and I are
tapes
just out
in the
here
mirror,
improvising.
how it
You're not
looks.
improvising. You've done this show
I
on
have
the
notes.
What's Right podcast this morning.
That's not the show. You guys are the show.
Buckle up for this stuff. We start with another absence for Lamar, and first things first, Bowl 4. The Door of Destiny in the battle for the left side of the desk. Or right side, depending on where you are, if you're in the studio or watching.
FTF 4.
Lamar missed practice yet again. This makes 6 straight weeks, Brew, that the two-time MVP has missed a practice since coming back from his hamstring injury. Each week, a new reason. Okay, that was yesterday. Today, he practiced. So, Brew, perhaps all your concerns are alleviated.
Oh, yeah, I was shaking in my boots. I was just, I was a mess yesterday.
Why? He's missed practice and hasn't played well.
He played well last week.
He played fine last week.
That was 114 passer rating.
Brew.
It was like 150 yards.
I mean,
And he had 150 yards passing in 12 attempts.
Yeah, it was.
One was a dime to Zay Flowers.
Okay.
The interception was off the hands and chest of his receiver. I mean, he played well. He ran the ball well. He wasn't vintage Lamar, but he was good.
Effective.
I had no issue with how he played.
He was effective in a limited capacity.
Threw 8 passes.
Oddly, I am less concerned about Lamar and the Ravens in this game than you are. You got the team that's on the rise, the team that's going to win the Super Bowl, the team that's got the MVP for quarterback.
Second place MVP, silver medalist, for sure.
And I am not worried in the least bit.
How can you not be worried?
I mean, my standards have lowered a little bit.
A little bit?
They're not in the playoffs yet. When they get to the playoffs or get to the point where that last game against Pittsburgh means something, winning you're in, losing you're out, that's when I'll be like, okay, on the edge of my seat.
Do you think the Ravens are going to win this game?
Yes. And I think Lamar's fine.
So
he done missed practice the last 6 weks.
And
didn't play well, but he played well last week. He said last week his hamstrings feeling better.
Yep.
And I also think your boys are vulnerable to the run. And I think Lamar will be fine, but last week they didn't throw it as much. They ran it a lot. And I'm here for that. With Derrick Henry and my man Keaton Mitchell, look at what your run defense, your vaunted run defense, Wild. Yeah, first 9 games, they were stellar.
This was Danny's
best
stat
in the
yesterday.
league.
That's true, though.
Last 5 games, I liked it. It was a cool stat. 19th. 19th. So we running up and down the field on y'all. Lamar some, but Derrick Henry and Mitchell a lot. And he'll throw it well.
So you viewed this question maybe a little differently than I did, because you viewed it more as like a game preview-ish, which I know we're going to.
If he has to play with the flu Sunday, then okay, I'm concerned. But if he's fine, I think he's fine.
I'm looking at this. You're looking at it.
You're looking at it like Agatha Christie.
Yeah. That's how you're looking at it.
You got a whole mystery.
You have a whole mystery.
Not a mystery.
You're an old novelist.
Now, is there any reporting that's going to back up your theories?
Yeah. Yes. Called the injury report.
Let's hear it.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
He can't be injured?
Hold on, Brew. I haven't even said anything.
I'm just asking.
Brew, you don't even. I honestly don't think you know what I'm going to say.
That's the mystery.
Go ahead.
And maybe I thought you'd like this take. You might hate it. Wilds, I gave him a sneak preview of it. This is going to be unpopular. I know I'm right. Lamar can't get sick and miss practice every single year. He's the most important person in that franchise. He's an adult. He's a professional athlete. And he is the only, forget star, just starting quarterback in this league that every single year he can't manage to figure out how to not get the seasonal flu and miss his practice. That's a problem. And it is, to me, in line with, and this is maybe more the Agatha Christie stuff, but it's not, I don't need reporting for this because it is just what we know. It is in line with a lot of pieces of Lamar's relationship with his team, health history, all of it, are one of one as far as franchise quarterbacks in this league. Lamar's in one category. Everyone else seems to be in another one. He's the only franchise quarterback in this league that the team seems to have no line on his week-to-week, day-to-day health status. He's the only franchise quarterback in this league that we expect every winter to get sick and have it show up on an injury report. It's been six winters in a row that this has happened. The only one it didn't was when he missed winter with an injury. Right. I know it sounds ridiculous to bang on a guy for getting sick. I think that in our field, if every year during like our most important time of the year, you're like, oh, Nick's going to be out 4 days because he's going to get sick, you'd be like, at some point, hey, man, take care of yourself. Figure out what's going on. And then you add to it, he's not the only franchise quarterback that seems to have a weird relationship with his head coach, but he has one. He's the only franchise quarterback that is, at any given week, any given day, might be barking back at critics on social media, in the media. And for some reason with Lamar, we just don't seem to care. Like, it's just like because it's not a big deal. It's weird. There's a lot of stuff about this stage Lamar Jackson that flags as odd given his stature in the league, his stature with his team, and how good of a player he is. And that yesterday I said to the group, guess who missed practice with the flu? And 2 of the 3 people at the desk, first guess said Lamar. That's a problem. And so I'm
wondering what your conclusion is.
I think there are a lot of signs of immaturity with Lamar Jackson. Okay. I think the way that he within the game doesn't face much adversity, but when he does, I think we see some immaturity. I think the way he uses social media speaks to immaturity. I think the fact that he does not seem to have I can't put the relationship with him and Harbaugh on immaturity. It's just weird. But I think being damn near 30 and not figuring out how to not get sick every winter when your job demands you be at your best every winter speaks to immaturity. And I know people are going to clip this and say I'm being unfair. I don't think it's unfair. I think you hold your face of the franchise star player to a high standard, and I think this is one area where Lamar is lacking, and I don't think that's unfair.
Here's the injury.
Yeah, you're frightened to death.
I'm not.
On Sunday.
Here's the injury report that Lamar has had since going back to week 5. So he had the hamstring, the knee, the ankle, the toe. We're back to the ankle, some rest, and then illness. So it's been a collection of reasons that he's been out. At the same time, he hasn't looked like himself in a long time, although his completion percentage against the Bengals was the highest in the last few weeks. At yards per pass.
The Bengals game, he was very good in the passes he threw. But it's a weird game. He didn't throw a lot, and he got sacked a bunch.
The couple of runs, he looked fine. He did get sacked.
So if he does put it together, yes. I'm nervous about the 2-time MVP and our run defense.
Look, Nick, you might be. I don't know what. I mean, it is a little odd, but a lot of time, and you weren't the only one, but there was a point a few years ago, everybody thought he was done with the Ravens. He is out of here because of the contract negotiations. Right. Yeah. And people thought it couldn't be fixed. Well, it was fixed. And he won, 2 MVPs since then. So
he won MVP. Maybe should have won another. Because he won the first one his first year as a starter.
That, so one since then. But
no, he's played his best football since then. But don't you just real quick, and I don't want to belabor it, then we move on. Does the fact that he gets sick enough to miss practice every single winter, you can tell me, Nick, you're being crazy right now. Or does it flag to you?
If he missed games, it would hit me.
Right.
But the practice, but he's missing a practice every time.
But what about what Coach reminded us of last week, which is when your starting quarterback misses practice,
it's something.
That practice for the offense is basically not thrown away, but it damages what everyone can get done in a real way. And so
I think to your point, I would be very worried. I was going to save this take about leading up to First Things First Bowl 4. I would be very stressed if Lamar had a full week of practice. and it seems like everybody's working towards a full week of practice. And I was waiting for why he was going to miss practice.
But I guess I also think you would be stressed if Drake May today missed practice. Because you feel like we would feel like it's important. Like, oh, something must be amiss. Like, oh, he's missing practice. And the fact that it's been 6 weeks in a row where Lamar's missed practice, first 4 for injury, last week for rest, and this week for sickness. Like, none of that to me screams a team that's about to flip the switch in a wide open AFC.
All right, Drake May lost to Josh Allen on Sunday and saw the Buffalo QB slide behind him in the MVP odds, which are currently Stafford, Drake, Josh, Bo Nix. Drake was asked about winning MVP, and he focused instead on team goals. What a guy. Exactly, Drake. Well done. Nick, do you still view the Patriots as Super Bowl contenders?
Yes, but I won't if they lose this game.
They're out.
Yeah. I will put them in the same bucket that right now mentally all have the winner of the AFC North and the Chargers. In the AFC is just like you're in the playoffs. You're in a different tier. But before we even get into this conversation, there are a lot of ways this show works.
Oh, here we go.
There's only one real way. Like Brew and I can go at it, it will work. Wilds can get literally red in the face and literally smoke coming out his ears. We've shown you the video. No, literally. Angry with me, and the show can work. We can also all be friendly and laughing. That works as well. What doesn't really work, I've noticed, is Wilds getting upset with Brew.
Well, it wasn't
it's very rare that it happens, but it's not. But it does not work. I'm telling you right now, that side of the table needs to be on the same side. We've been a team. At least have a détente or whatever it is. And Kevin Wilds demanding to have his cake and eat it too is going to break Brew. Brew's not going to tolerate it. And I'm telling you, so just you tread carefully with your Pat's answer here, because he's ready to hammer you for 10 days ago, demanding we acknowledge the Patriots are the best team in the NFL.
I didn't.
You did. Every time Brew said it's a wide open AFC, every team has a flaw, you either under your breath or loudly like, well, not one team. What's our flaw? What is it?
Experience.
Right, exactly.
That's a flaw.
Exactly.
That's a flaw.
You were adamant about all of this, and then they play one bad half of football.
Exactly.
And you're out here saying the Texans are the best team.
They have a great
and
defense.
Brew is ready to kill you.
Well, I just have a question, because this has become a big deal.
This is a problem, Gianna.
The doorstep of destiny has become huge. Is destiny making the playoffs?
Great question. It's purposely amorphous.
You and I both know destiny, not New England, is making the playoffs. In Tennessee, sure.
Sure, yes.
You know, in New Orleans for now, sure.
Yes.
Making the playoffs. Oh, the destiny.
Carolina.
Carolina, yeah.
With Bryce.
But New England?
Yes, we'd like to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so that's what destiny is.
Well, it seems to be our destiny. We're the team of the century.
Okay.
We have Drake May. We have a nice little path. I saw one of the
all that is true.
ESPN computer simulations.
Now you moved off the Athletic. The Athletic cooled on your team, and so now you've moved over to
They did 10,000.
Yeah, that's what the Athletic does.
And one of them was Rams Patriots. Ooh.
Yeah,
I love
Oh, that's a more than 1 in 10,000 shot.
No, I think they just picked a random one out of 10.
Okay. All right.
Methodology I didn't argue with. I was like, great.
Rams Patriots is a legit Super Bowl possibility.
Exactly.
Assuming the Patriots are actually legit good, which if they are, they win this game.
The Ravens.
Yes.
How about you, bro?
Are they legit contenders still? This is reverse for me.
Exactly.
I have not believed in them all, for the most part, most of the year.
Yes.
Now, sure, they're Super Bowl contenders.
Okay.
I mean, I think the field is open.
What changed for you is the Chiefs
Chiefs
being
are
out of it?
Are the Ravens legit Super Bowl contenders?
I mean, they still got to get in. If they got to win this game and then beat the Packers pretty much. So
if the Patriots lose against a legit Super Bowl contender like the Ravens, are they still Super Bowl contenders?
I think they are because
Exactly.
there's no world beater in the AFC.
Yes, I
Like
agree.
Denver, are they going to score? Houston, are they going to score? Jacksonville, okay, good team. Buffalo, the defense can, get run on, get scored on. Like, I mean, I get it, Nick, and if you want to have the Patriots second tier, I guess, but I think it's wide open, and I think you guys are right there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. See, that works.
I mean, I think Buffalo, Denver, and Houston, I probably take over you guys.
Well, that's
but
half
it's close.
the field.
But it's close. But it's not like
It's not a
like
huge drop.
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens last year.
Sure.
So I think it's open. You guys are
I'll
there.
do a pop quiz segment for you, and I kind of mentioned it on the call. I was trying to break down teams that could win the Super Bowl, which I said the Patriots belong in a group of could win the Super Bowl and should win the Super Bowl. Maybe a tweak on SBOB. To me, there were three teams that should win the Super Bowl with Mahomes out in a wide open field, and it was just Rams, Bills, Ravens.
Why are the
Right
Ravens
now?
in that?
Just
You're
because
saying the
Mahomes is
Ravens?
out.
No,
Just
but
like those guys
You're
should.
saying that was your thought this morning?
Yes,
right now.
this morning.
So the Ravens should win the Super Bowl.
Lamar
You
should.
mean
he's just-
The path is open for Lamar. He should.
I understand it. For the Ravens, it's about pedigree and history more than quality of play this year.
Yes.
Got it. Go ahead.
That's it. Who are your should teams? Who are your good teams?
I guess I don't view it that way. I didn't know that was the pop quiz, so I wasn't preparing.
What's the
an
segment
answer.
pop quiz?
I think the only team in the AFC that right now should feel like we should get to the Super Bowl is Buffalo.
Yes.
And the NFC, I think it's too, even though there's only 3 weeks left, the fact that there are five teams have a super viable path to the number one overall seed in the NFC with 3 weeks left makes that feel like it is.
It feels like, to me, it feels almost as open as the AFC. And you got the Rams. If you want to put the Rams number one, like the Bills are number one.
The thing for the Rams is tonight's game will determine a ton of that for me, because if the Rams lose tonight, they're staring at likely being on the road the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
So would you still have them in your mind as the favorite in the NFC?
I got to see if they play a very tightly contested close game and lose. I will still think they are the highest quality team, but I also think the Rams' path being through SoFi versus having to go on the road in Chicago, then to Philly, and like those things, that changes it a lot. I think I can so much of this becomes easier for you and for all of us if you just say, I might have gotten a little over my skis with the Pats for a couple weeks. I might have been a little too, I mean, again, I don't want to misquote you, but the dynasty is back, and I now have to carry the show for Nick and Brew. Maybe a little, and the Bills
elements of a
stink.
dynasty.
And, it might have been.
Now it's elements.
Now it might.
It was
have
always
been-
elements of a
been-
dynasty. I
It
did the
was-
whole
Doorstep is
pizza
much
thing.
further along
It
than
wasn't
elements.
pizza. It was OSHA. It was.
I did also do
OSHA
pizza.
inspector.
Pepperoni guy.
Okay.
Tonight's game. Rams are the best team in the league according to the Tiers Committee, but they are underdogs in Seattle. Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in their first matchup. Game was still close. Okay, what's more likely for Sam Darnold? He has a huge game, plays like a stud, or just has a bad game, plays like a dud?
Sam Darnold cannot have an awful game tonight. Last year, Darnold was unbelievable, except for against the only team they were competing with for the division and in the playoff game. And if we show it to you what he was last year against Detroit, which was the team they were competing with for the playoffs, and in the playoff game versus everything else, it's not just two different players. It's the left-hand column would be the worst starting quarterback in football, and the right-hand column would be the best starting quarterback in football. Thus, up to this point this year, and again, the sample sizes are small, against the two teams they are competing with for the division, and then everything else, it is the splits are even more stark. which is to say, if tonight he's bad again, then it will not be unfair. It will not be simplistic analysis to be like, man, this guy's about to get cooked in the playoffs. I don't care how good the team is. That will be what everyone thinks, and they will be right to think it. If he can just have a solid game, just be solid, be fine, then you can say last year was, a bad stretch at the wrong time. He's been now a really high-level quarterback for 2 years. This team might be overall more talented than last year's Vikings team. Anyway, you like the coach. You can really believe in the Seahawks as long as Sam Darnold avoids awful game. Mm-hmm. But if he's awful tonight, Brew, they're damn near a cross-off. And so that I know that doesn't really answer the more likely. It's more about what it would mean.
Sure.
It's hard for me to believe he's going to be awful once again. It will be such an indictment if he is, Brew.
I'm pulling for him.
Me too.
Because it's a great story,
yes.
Great comeback. But my answer is bad game.
Oh.
He's got to prove it.
Yeah.
All right? Until I see it. And this is what happens. Some people, like you said, might think it's unfair. This is what happens when your first 6 years in the league, you're bad. And you're in year 8. You're 6 bad years, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. It's like Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
We didn't get, no matter how well Indy looked with him early in the season, we still had our doubts because of what happened with the Giants. That's your issue and some other people's issue, I think, with Brock Purdy. You were the last dude in the draft. So you're not getting the benefit of the doubt. Your standard is higher than others for you to prove to me that you're the guy. So that's where Darnold is. And Nick, you said it. I mean, it's not only that year. I've shown the graphic before. Here's the graphic, him against winning teams this year, him against 500 or below. The numbers are incredibly different. And
those numbers against winning teams, Brew, don't speak to me to like horrific play.
It's not as bad, but 9 TDs, 8 picks.
Yeah.
Compared to how well he's played, because he is great against like the bad teams or the pretty decent teams. And so I agree. Look, he's the one question mark about this team. The run game isn't great, but it's adequate. Obviously, great receivers, very good coach, great defense.
Great defense.
He's the one question mark.
Note from Josh, in the last 2 years, every game has been either passer rating over 100 or less than 90. So he never just has a game in the 90s, just kind of.
Just like a solid game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pretty good is hard for Sam Darnold. Joe Burrow shut down any speculation about the team shutting him down. No. Since the Bengals are mathematically eliminated. Did he shut down the thought of leaving the Bengals? Not necessarily. Sound the alarm. How worried should the Bengals be?
They should be really worried.
Yeah.
Now, hold on. Brew, I don't want to step on your trademark. I listened to the whole thing.
Of course.
It's 20 minutes. I listened to the whole thing. And one thing he made very clear was that press conference last week was not about retirement. He talked about how much he fought to be able to come back this year. How much seemingly, and it's not clear who he's talking about, he's fighting to keep playing the rest of this year. Talks about quarterbacks being able to play. There was kind of an odd question about, do you think you're in your prime? With having to do with the age of quarterbacks. I think it was phrased a little weird, but I know what they were getting at. And he was like, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, and then he mentioned Phillip Rivers and Rodgers. He talks about guys playing Flacco late into their careers.
And he said he wanted
to do that. He wanted to do that. Thank you, bro, because you listened to the whole thing as well.
Thank you.
Of course, obviously. So it wasn't about retirement. It was about the Bengals. And if I were an executive at any other team,
there you go,
I would start stirring stuff up.
Absolutely.
I would call, and if they didn't answer, I'd leak to somebody that I called. And I would be like, I'm going to tell you a true fact you can report. The Cincinnati Bengals today took a call regarding a Joe Burrow trade.
Awesome.
It's true. It's true. Now, if the Bengals
Joe
call you
Burrow,
back,
like, what the heck?
if the Bengals call you back, they're like, "What do you mean? We didn't entertain it. Did you answer the phone? You took the call. It's not my business." I would try to stir that up as much as possible because now we can talk about, and he did also brew in this say, some of this has been on me for not being available, for being hurt. He has owned
a lot of it.
Right, so he's owned that. That's fine. But I think he is rightfully nonplussed about being a Bengal, and I think the rest of the league should seize on that discontent. Bruce.
If I was the Bengals GM, owner, whatever,
Here we go.
I'm not the least bit worried.
Why?
Because we have these things, Wilds, called contracts, which determine where you can go play, where you can't go play. They got him locked up, Nick. The first out is, and I don't even know if it's his out or the team.
No, he doesn't have any.
He's locked up through 2029. So why, unless he's about, and he didn't say anything in that press conference that makes me think he's going to go to the Bengals and say, I want out.
Getting close.
No, he's not. I don't think he is. I watched the press conference too. And he just said, we watched it, I don't have any reason to believe I won't be the Bengals starting quarterback next year.
But then he was asked about, what about after that? And he was like, you think about a lot of things.
I mean, he might be a little too honest, open, transparent with his words. Yeah, I've thought about a lot of things. I mean, I wouldn't.
There's 4 quarterbacks on the quarterback current Mount Rushmore. Lamar, Josh, Joe Burrow, Patrick.
Right.
If Patrick Mahomes was like, next year we're good. Like, what?
I'm a man of protocol.
Bro.
This is why when everybody else was like, Lamar's out of here, Lamar asked for a trade. A trade. And I said, guess what? He will be with the Ravens.
And you were right, but Brew, that was something that ended up, and you were correct about this, could be solved by money. That was a contract dispute.
This has already been solved by money.
Which is why it's a problem.
If he
They've
was
already
in
given
the
him the money.
If he was in the last year, if he doesn't go to them and say, I want out, and I don't think he will, not within the next year. I think he's going to play there next year for sure. And if it goes badly again, maybe. But if he doesn't ask out in the
then they
next,
should be worried.
No, let's put a good football. You know what I'm saying? What I'm worried about if I'm the Bengals is my quarterback healthy. Because when he's healthy, we can be a good team.
I mean, they were last year.
That's 1 year, but okay, that 1 year. The year before that, he wasn't good. He wasn't healthy then. When he was healthy, he wasn't good. 2 years ago, you're right. It was the defense, or last year. This year, he hasn't been healthy. I'm sorry. You are under contract. This is not the NBA. And even in the NBA, if you got less than 2 years left, you can kind of force your way out. He's locked up through 2029. It's not the NBA. I mean, sorry. If he come into my office and ask for a trade, I'm like, I'll talk to him about what can we do. We can build this team around. He's from Ohio. He grew up 2.5 hours away from the Bengals. I don't think he's trying. Nah, I'm not worried. I'm sorry.
There has to be a healthy level of concern. Period, because you mentioned it earlier in the week talking about Andrew Luck, reminding us of what took place over in Indy with Andrew Luck. In the prime of his career, just was over it, the injuries, all the things, walked away from the game. When a player has made statements like, the entirety of my career is wide open, like we're always in it.
Oh, yeah. The window is
the entirety of my career. Alluding to that organization, and then start to be about, man, if I'm not having fun, why am I doing it? That's indicative of the environment that you're walking into every single day. I don't care how much the contract is worth. He clearly is frustrated with what's taking place and what's not happening in order for them to win games. He understands he's been hurt.
Not just hurt. We'd have beat Buffalo if you didn't throw these 2 crazy interceptions. I'm serious. Look in the mirror, Joe.
It's not about him not looking in the mirror. He looks in the mirror, but he also, sometimes when you look in the mirror and you get tired of only seeing yourself. It's not just about him.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I see other players that I wanted and they gave me. I'm just saying, like, don't run away. You're not you are part of the problem too.
And I'm sure he understands that, which is why he alluded to being injured and not being available and all those things. But to your point, Nick, when players start talking like this is why I say you got to be somewhat of worried and have a healthy concern, is because naturally, if I'm any of the other organizations, I'm going to do it. If I'm the Minnesota Vikings and I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with,
my goodness.
and they have all these assets, I'm figuring out whatever I can to see what I can put together to see if they'll bite on Joe Burrow. Because we found this out. Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price. So as good as you feel like they should feel right now, because he's locked up and he's under contract.
If they put together a ridiculous offer, knowing how cheap the Bengals are, they might look at that. I mean, where have we been going with Joe since 2022?
So, Brew, I think you're agreeing with us, actually.
No, I'm not, because I don't think they should be worried.
No,
I think they are in total control of the situation.
Brew, they can be in control of the situation, and they cannot be panicked. And Ram, give us a couple extra minutes here, if we could. While also acknowledging, to I think Wilds' point, should the Bengals be more worried about their relationship with their quarterback than the Bills with Josh Allen? Yes. The Chiefs with Mahomes? Yes. The Patriots with Drake May? Yes. Go down the list. Now, I think Ravens with Lamar, they have a different type of worry, because it seems to me at least he and the head coach are not on the same page, even if he and the organization are. The Eagles and Jalen Hurts, I think organizationally it's fine, but it just seems like Jalen and his teammates. I'm not saying everything is perfect everywhere, but they are certainly on shakier ground than most teams with their star quarterback. Even though they have control, Brew?
What do you expect them to say? They have lost 10 games this year. He didn't play, obviously, all of them, but they're 4-10. He shouldn't be happy. I'm glad he's not happy. If he's up there giggling and I'm just happy to be playing football, then I'm like, do we have the guy? I want him to be a bit upset. And the fact that I have his name on this contract for several more years means the other teams can call all they want. And unless they blow me away with an offer, I don't have to do a thing.
Drew, have we ever, do we really think that if Joe Burrow said publicly, and he is not there yet, but if he said publicly, I would like to continue my career elsewhere, the Bengals want their quarterback to be a hostage? Or do we think that he can de facto?
But he hasn't said that.
No, but don't you think we are closer to that?
If he says that, then I'll revisit. But right now, he didn't say that. He didn't even come close to saying that. In fact, he was asked, can you see a scenario when you are not here next year?
And he said no. And
I can't see that, no.
And then
have you ever thought about playing elsewhere? Think about a lot of things.
That's a guy.
Brew, don't you feel like the answer for all these other star quarterbacks to that follow-up question is no? Everybody wants to be.
You know what I'm thinking about? The Dolphins and winning this game.
Yeah, I want to be there for life. I just think that's what they would say. I also don't think he's wrong.
I would not be concerned.
I don't, Brew. I think you're being
just like everybody thought he was crazy. People thought he shouldn't go there in the first place.
And it looks like they were right.
Too.
Really? Because they got to the Super Bowl when he was healthy.
They did get to the Super Bowl, Brew.
They've been one of the better teams in the league, one of the scariest teams in the league.
Brew, they made the playoffs twice in his career.
When he's healthy, they're scary. You know that.
Last year, he was healthy.
If he was healthy this year, they would be a scary team in the AFC. We know that.
Brew, I don't know that I agree with you. They weren't last year, Brew.
This year they would have.
Why?
The defense is better. Wilds is falling over there.
That is fine. That is true.
I'm not saying it's good.
No, pretty
but
good,
it's
though.
better.
Pretty good.
It's good.
They've gotten better.
It's
good. No.
2 weeks.
But
Look at this AFC. It's wide open.
That's all Wilds needed right there.
I thought it. Last year, 43 touchdowns. This year, 8.
Well, he's played, 5 games?
They haven't been good with him.
That's part of the problem.
Passer rating 84, completion percentage 60%.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.